What do you think has been one of your most epic fishing missions that you've gone on? You've done so many. So maybe while you're thinking, some that I can think of. I was watching that where you're going for kingies off the cliff and you ended up catching one with the carabiner. I was wondering what
Oh,
your profile picture was. I was like, why has he got a carabiner by the kingi's mouth? And then I
yeah, yeah,
finally came across the video. I was like, whoa, what
yeah.
would
I
that
thought
be up
that
there?
profile picture perfectly captures what I'm about as well. It's like the
Yeah,
fishing and the climbing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
was an all-time session. That was just
yeah,
ridiculous. Definitely right up there as far as one of my better fishing trips.
yeah.
Another one would be jumping off a boat to swim to this rock in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, I haven't seen that
Um,
one.
that one did pretty good. It's got over 1 million views. So if you
Yeah.
go to my YouTube channel and put most viewed, it'll be just a picture of a rock, I think. Um,
Okay. Oh, I have to watch
and
that one.
yeah, it's got between 1 and 2, maybe more than 2 million views. I can't remember, but it did pretty well, and that was very memorable because the uh, the footage of the swim still gives me chills, and just the full experience of everything that happened getting there, and like the bloke that dropped me off he's a mate of mine, and his boat almost sunk because it was a dodgy thing, and
Really?
the bilge pump wasn't working. He has an electrical fault, and he's
Yeah.
taking on water. And I was like, dude, you got a lot of water in your boat, eh? As we were like doing a little lap to check on it, to check where I want to jump in. And then he's like, oh yeah. Goes to flick the bilge, doesn't work. In the video, I actually yell out, fix your bilge, like before he comes back, because that was terrifying. And
Damn.
he's like, oh crap, his girlfriend's on the boat as well. And he's like,
Yeah.
you just steer. He tells her to steer. And he goes, takes the bung out of the back
Yeah.
and just boots it to drain it. And I was looking, like we chatted afterwards, and he reckoned another 20, 30 seconds and the boat probably would have gone down.
Really? How
Sort of
far
thing, is
back did
that
he have to
close.
go?
How do you mean, how far back?
Like how on the boat? How long was the
Oh,
trip
the
back?
journey back.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was only a couple of K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just needed to keep an eye on things, I guess. He just
Yeah.
didn't realise that it was leaking, and his bilge wasn't going to save him when he needed it to.
Need to get a
So,
bucket out of stay and hang the
yeah.
boat
And
up.
then after all that, then I had to jump in and swim ashore in water that I really wouldn't really want to swim in terribly much.
Was it just a bit sketchy or like
Just a spot that's known for great whites, I guess.
oh
Yeah,
classic
yeah.
nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think many people would be that keen to go spearfishing there. Um,
No.
and then his girlfriend, I told her to throw the barrels in like one at a time. Once I'd reached the rock, but she
Yeah.
didn't get the instructions clear. Plus, the boat was a bit dodgy,
About
and
to sink,
like
yeah.
I didn't want him to be taken on water. And so I looked back. I feel this tug on my backpack as I'm still like 10 meters to swim, and there's like all the barrels in the water and everything behind me. I'm like, God damn it.
Or you just roped them up
So
and you just swam them in.
yeah, that was the
Yeah.
idea. So I had like 30 or 60 meters of rope to the first barrel, and then another 30 to the next one, and then the esky, and then the rods, like everything in a big tether behind me.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty hectic to get on there when you see the footage of me like climbing up barnacles in white water and that.
Oh
Yeah, that
man.
was definitely a memory.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you end up catching much
And
of the rock?
I caught a couple of good fish.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of groper there. I imagine you could do a lot better, but
Mhm.
I caught good fish, and like the place that I spent the night was pretty mind blowing, just up on top of this rock in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
damn! I can't believe I haven't watched that one. I need to. It sounds epic. A lot of spoilers there, but.
Yeah. Sorry.
And, what do you what do you get out of spending this time alone in the wilderness? Do you think you're out by yourself on these sometimes multi-day missions in these super remote spots? I assume most of the time you probably don't even have reception. So what do you think you get out of being in these remote spots by yourself?
Oh, I don't know. I enjoy it most of the time, just the solitude, but there are definitely times where I feel like I would enjoy having a mate with me as well.
Yeah,
Um, Yeah, just the fact that you're on your own, you can go do whatever you want, whatever schedule, whatever ideas you want to do. Just enjoyable to, yeah, have your own
Yeah,
have your own agenda and do whatever you want while you're out there. Yeah. It's
yeah.
surprising where you get reception as well, though. These days, there's a lot more reception, like unless you're down the side of a cliff. So I normally send my wife a message or two, let her know I'm still alive and
Still alive, yeah.
and going well, and that. Which is it's nice to be able to have that little bit to check in, and
Yeah,
have some communication. I've spent a fair while with no reception and that before, and it does get to you after a while. So
yeah.
I
Well, I
prefer to have a
just
little bit
think,
at least every couple of days.
yeah, it's so easy now, like just to sit there scrolling your phone or whatever. Do you think because you spend so much time in those kind of places, you don't have much of a tie to your phone and stuff like that?
Oh, I have to be careful. I still will find myself wasting too much time on my phone, but I definitely prefer not to. So I just try to put it aside, stay off
Mm,
social media as much as I can. I don't think anyone's immune to getting sucked into
okay.
that, really.
Yeah.
Um, but I definitely try not to spend too much time on that if I can. Yeah.
But especially as a
And here I am making
creator,
my
yeah.
exactly. I was about to say, here I am making my living, making my income
Yeah.
from social media. But yeah, I try to not spend too much time on it if I can. Definitely.
Well, that would be the catch 22 about it because you being on your phone is also work at the same time, whether you're like, I don't know, responding to comments or seeing like interactions or how a video is going. So I could imagine it's a
Yeah,
like a fine line between you getting sucked into it versus you just interacting with people that like your stuff.
yeah, definitely. You gotta. I'll put out a video or something, and I'll check in a little bit initially, try and reply to a few comments, but then I'll just try and leave it and let it do its thing. Early days, I
Oh,
used to be onto it a lot more and just reply to heaps more people and all that. But these days I try and just step back a bit more from it.
mm. It'd
Yeah,
get unsustainable, I assume, at some point too, right? Like as your
yeah,
channel
definitely,
grows, there's no way you can reply to everyone.
exactly. Yeah.
So if that one was one of your most epic missions, what's the opposite? What do you think has been one of your most disappointing trips you've been on?
I've done a few trips that haven't turned into videos.
Oh, true.
I did one with my mate Dane where we did a huge hike into a spot that normally produces really well. It's like a
Yeah.
3 hour hike. We caught nothing. I think we might have caught a salmon or something, but we're expecting to catch a few jewfish or a couple of decent fish. And then it was just stinking hot. The flies were absolutely atrocious. So in the middle of the day, we just hid from the sun for a
Yeah.
while, and then got up, fished a bit more in the arvo, and I was just getting over it. I'd kind of had enough. And then I actually got a message from my wife a bit later in the evening saying her sister's gone into labour and she wants to go do
Oh,
that if I can come look after the kids. So I was like, oh, it's a
that's a
dud
pretty good
mission.
excuse.
Let's just hike out of here. So we did the grueling hike out in the dark, and nothing ever came with that mission. It was just one of those ones, putting
Yeah.
some K's in the legs and nothing else.
Nice walk. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
that's
mate
it.
Dane is quality, by the way. I enjoy the
Yeah,
videos when he's in them. He is so funny, man. Like that
yeah, he's a
Kingy
top
video
bloke.
where you guys are like just chucking anything in and the Kingies are going for it. That's
He
so
gets
funny,
so
man.
enthusiastic about it as
Yeah.
well. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. He adds
yeah,
like a funny dynamic, I think, to the
yeah,
videos. When
fully.
when a trip doesn't quite go to plan or like you're not catching anything, where's the mindset at? You know, do you start to like question whether or not you should stay there longer? Should you go back early? Like, how do you mentally approach that when you, I don't know, spent quite a bit of time planning on where to go and how to film it, and then it doesn't work out?
Yeah, definitely. It becomes, I guess, a bit of a mental game of trying to figure out if I stick it out, come up with another idea to make the trip work, or just pull the pin on it, or just try to catch a few herring and pretend that I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I definitely go through that a fair bit on trips. I mean, you can't catch good fish every single time you go out, and you just
Mm.
try to find a way to enjoy it for what it is. That's what I try to do. I mean, I need to make videos these days, so you just try to make something of whatever it is and go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Does that add an element of pressure to going out, do you think? It's not necessarily like heaps of pressure or stress, but does it add some kind of element of pressure to it?
Yeah, it definitely adds a bit of pressure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds funny, having pressure to go out on a successful fishing mission. It sounds
Yeah,
like
fully.
so ironic.
Yeah. I know. It's different, eh? Very different.
Yeah.